What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, CEO, MTS Nutrition. So, we go over some different diets on this channel, be it the keto diet, the carnivore diet, vegan diet, intermittent fasting, which is basically how often you eat your food. You take a longer period between meals, for example, 16 hours fasting, 8 hours of eating. Basically, you're skipping breakfast and eating a late lunch. Now, in the intermittent fasting studies, we did see a slight reduction in weight, but that was because the average intermittent faster ate about 250 less calories. So what I see the benefit for intermittent fasting isn't necessarily in hormones, because let's be real, all the benefits that are achieved, such as just a slight acute increase in HGH, which is basically a survival mechanism. I don't think it does anything. What we also see is a slight decrease in testosterone and a slight decrease in thyroid output. Now, that's besides the point. I actually think intermittent fasting is a great option, and here's why. Because one thing we're aiming to do in improving health is lower total caloric intake. Look, most people watching this channel, this is Tiger Fitness. I am a retired professional bodybuilder. I am a guy who fitness is not my life. I don't pay my bills with fitness. I pay my bills doing what I'm doing now. I'm in business meetings. I'm doing events to promote my company. I have the Outright Bar. I have MTS Nutrition, Ambrosia, Tiger Fitness, other business entities outside this industry. Bottom line is, fitness is not my life, but it is. The reason I'm able to operate on such a high level is because I'm fit. For example, today I'm on the road, but I have no family around me, right? So I was able to train cardio twice. I was able to weight train, also able to get an event done, which took 4 hours, also able to get 8 hours of office work and still get 8 hours of sleep because I have nothing else to do. I literally have nothing else to do but work because my family's at home. My daughter's at a soccer camp. So I am fit and healthy, but realize a lot of you are, but a lot of you aren't. Most people who watch my stuff are dad bods. All right, let's be real. I'm 38 years old. A lot of people who are watching me aren't going to be the social media mavens, aren't going to be the people looking at girls with Photoshop butts. They're going to be guys who are, getting older, maybe have a couple kids, their careers, and it's basically boom stage where they're growing, and then they top out around 45, 50 years old, making good money, doing their thing. That's my market. That's who I hit. So if you're watching this and you're younger, realize a lot of people watching not commenting are just career individuals. So what I'm looking to do is make people's life better. Help them live longer. Help them be healthier. Help them lose weight and stay trim. A lot of people don't want to be big, huge, and have bulging biceps. A lot of people just want to be healthy, to be fit, to be able to go to work with optimal energy, to be able to come home, train, to be able to play with their kids and have sex with their wife and get an erection. And that's what we're all about. We're about a well-rounded life, and that's why I'll do videos on bodybuilding and stuff, but realize a lot of people who watch my stuff are aging with me. 38 years old, prime of my life, peak of my career, and that's where I think a lot of people are watching this. You younger people, you need to pay attention to this too, because you're not always going to be 20 and completely Superman, okay? This is a new study that came out. And this is an excellent study. And I got this from WebMD. It was in Health Day, okay, Health Day News. 300 fewer calories a day brings a health benefit. Now, I found this profound because it doesn't take into account keto, doesn't take into account veganism. Just took a group, literally took a group of 200 adults younger than 50 with a healthy weight or just a few extra pounds. They were told to reduce their calorie intake by 25% for 2 years. Their ability to achieve that goal varied, and the average calorie reduction in the group was about 12%. That equaled about 300 calories a day. So what happened? 10% decline in weight, 71% of that weight decline was fat. So you're noticing that we're not even taking into account protein, carbs, fat. The fat loss was 71% of the 10% decline in weight. Now imagine if you actually ate adequate protein, adequate essential fats, if you controlled your diet. Imagine what taking that slight decrease, and that's another thing I'll get into in this video. So what did it bring? Significant increase were seen in already good levels of cholesterol. Remember, these weren't fat people. These were good weight people. Blood pressure, blood sugar, and other matters of risk for metabolic disease. They also had lower levels of a biomarker for chronic inflammation. Those with joint pain, all that stuff. Realize the extra weight might have been causing a little extra inflammation. We don't know. And again, they didn't eliminate grains. These people are eating probably grains. They're eating a standard American diet, which has been linked to heart disease, cancer, and mental decline. The author, William Krause, said, there's something about caloric restriction, some mechanism we don't know yet, understand in these improvements. Said study author Dr. William Krause, a cardiologist and professor at Duke. We have collected blood, muscle, and other samples from these participants and will continue to explore what this metabolic signal or magic molecule might be. The findings show the modification that is not as severe as what we use in this study could reduce the burden of diabetes and cardiovascular disease. So imagine if we got these results from 300 calories, we'd get some results from 100. If we get a little bit of results here and there, we're going to get some results. So think about it. If 300 calories yielded all these awesome things, 100 calories might not yield as much, but it'll yield something and help reduce the risk of these diseases. So by snacking, adding dressing on your salad. People always laugh at me. I dip my fork in the dressing and I eat the salad. I go get my Subway salads when I'm traveling and I always get the dressing on the side. I want a little bit of flavor and I dip my fork in the tip, just the tip, and I just eat it, So it was published July 11th in the Journal of Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology and is part of an ongoing project with the National Institutes of Health. Now, what we're getting at here is essentially what the if it's your macros or if it's your calories crowd have been getting at for a while. One is that the main determinant in weight loss, as this study shows, 71% weight loss came from fat. In these people losing 10% of their total body weight, and these were not over fat or overweight individuals, these were normal weight individuals. So basically by just reducing their overall calories, not accounting for a certain macro, they got significant results in not only health, but I'd imagine with that much less fat, right? 10% less body weight, 71% of that is fat. They're looking better too. They fit in their bikini better. They're looking better with their shirt off. So what does that tell me? That tells me that we know the trick, right? We know the secret. These people weren't refeeding. They weren't taking diet breaks. They weren't doing contest prep. They weren't binging for the holidays and dieting down for a show. What these people were doing is simply restricting calories by around 10%. By 300 calories, right? And that led to a 10% reduction in body weight. 71% is body fat. So what if we took the extrapolate, and this is why we can't just look at one study. Let's take this study with a grain of salt. Let's take it in the overall big picture, right? All right. So we know that simple caloric restriction will lead to these wonderful results. We also know that eating a gram of protein per pound of body weight, well, that'll help you retain muscle mass with dieting, such as the 2016 study by Helms found. We also know that eating adequate fats, I'd like to say about 20% of your total caloric intake or 0.3 to 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. Let's say we get an adequate fat, so make sure our hormones are up and running better, right? Make sure we're well nourished. Make sure our hair and our skin and all that stuff has the essential nutrients needed that you get from fat. And let's say that our carbohydrates are coming from whole natural sources. Let's say our carbohydrates are coming from honey, which is a superfood. I love honey. That's why I put in that right bar. I'm a honey fanatic. I like honey. Oh, it has sugar. Yeah, but it doesn't have a blood sugar response that table sugar does. Honey's a superfood. Oatmeal. Right? Sweet potatoes, super micronutrient dense. Vegetables, apples, bananas, berries. So what if we were to extrapolate this data and slightly reduce our calories, which is why I like long-term dieting over crash dieting. This is essentially a long-term diet, right? The kind that I work with my clients, which is basically, this wasn't a diet, this is basically a lifestyle alteration. But what if we also accounted for adequate protein? What if we accounted for adequate fat? What if we filled in the rest with quality carbohydrate? What if we combined this with a cardiovascular and a resistance training program? See what I'm getting at here, guys? Tip of the iceberg. This is why you can't go online and read cherry pick studies from the keto people, from the carnivore people, from the vegan people, from the paleo people, from the this, the that, the other, because they're just reading one study. What you need to do, and I'd hate to sound, is listen to people like myself. People like Alan Aragon, people who look at all the studies combined, right? So this program right here, What does this show us? Well, keto, if you account for the caloric control, works. Carnivore diet works. They had no set boundaries for vegetables and fruits. They were probably eating a shitty standard American diet, right? They just happened to have normal weight. And then they lost, right? This is a group of 200 people. So there was probably all ends of the spectrum. Veganism works. The bottom line is you have to control your calories. So we have this debate going on right now. Hormones versus calories. Hormones versus calories. Hormones versus calories. This is showing that calories matter. Because it didn't take into account any of that keto bullshit or any of the hormone bullshit. It was just basically, we're going to cut your fucking calories, right? However, what if we did account for hormones? What if we did have adequate fat? What if we did have high quality protein? What would happen? What if we supplemented? What if we put some fish oil in there? I don't know, a little more anti-inflammation, a little more mental cognition. What if we threw in some ambrosia nectar for overall organ health? What if we threw in some whey protein as part of our protein source for its immune benefits and its muscle mass benefits and anorectic benefits? Maybe your calories would drop even more. See what I'm saying here? So even if you don't measure calories, right? If you were to add these things in, what would happen? What would happen? And what if you do measure calories? What would happen? Bottom line is, if you decrease your calories, you will see results not only in your physique, but also in your health. That's what I'm saying. Don't just look at one study. Look at the big picture. Read everything. Listen to everyone. Listen to Dr. Sean Baker. Listen to the vegan people. Listen to all the keto people. And then take all that information, all their biased bullshit, and put it in a cup, shake it up. Somewhere in there's your answer. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Marc Lobliner. And be sure to subscribe to this channel. Click on that notification button because subscriptions don't mean a fucking thing anymore, or else I'd probably have more views. And be sure to comment down below. What are your thoughts? That's not a game. Most vitamin D3 comes from sheep's wool grease. That's right. Sheep's wool and the grease from it. That's where you're getting your vitamin D3. No, that's disgusting. MTS Nutrition Vega D3 is derived from lichens, which is a renewable source. And the great part of it, sheep's wool grease, it's not vegan. So vegans can't even have it. Our Vega D3, again, 100% plant-based. We recommend taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 a day. This has it all in one capsule, available right now from MTS Nutrition.